there is I'm sure much more to this formulation that he wants. He did explain out pretty much. I had this problem with how the Dalit gets worked out, but in one place. But there is some use to this that I don't really understand other than the explanation that he gives us. Let's go on to we're on the first word on the line is Vihine. He says, Sheva Madregas Shel Sitra Akra, the 7 Madregas of the Sitra Akra, Hanizkaran La'el Tuluyim, V'Sheva Osios Elu, they really depend on these 7 letters. Now that's why he brought these 7 letters. Or he said they're Tuluyim. What is the word Tuluyim? Okay? In other words, there is some correspondence between these names of Hashem, or these letters of Hashem's name, which are 7, and the klipos. And when these letters are taken, because they taken from the Sitra Achra, the Sitra Achra takes them, then you see the letters look like this. It's a Vaya, then there's a Hey, and then the Hey gets split into a Dalet and a Vav. The Haino, this is the easiest way for me to understand this, is the Haino of the Dalet Osios Shal Shem Avaya, Shalem completely, Ba'olam Atzilus, that presents Olam Atzilus. Ba'os Hey Shal Olam Abriya, which we understand is that Bina and Bria go together, so here's the Hey with this. Ba'osios Du, the last 2, Yatzim Mechutz the Kedusha, they actually wind out outside of the Kedusha. In other words, he seems to be saying that Bria is really attached to Kedusha in some way, so why does he focus on these 2 to say that they're the ones that are outside of Kedusha? Isn't Bria outside of Kedusha too? But he didn't say that. So he said, V'osias Du, Yatzim Mechutz the Kedusha, V'so Nephilim, and they fall out. So before that, so I'm not sure. V'hem Shtei Madregas Achronos Shal Sitra Achra, and they represent the 2 lowest levels of the Sitra Achra. So he says, V'hem Trin Mis Chabkim Canal. Those are the 2 that are clinging together, which is Azak and Azka. V'hem Elo Shenaflo B'Klipos Lamata. They're the ones, we've talked about this from the Rabbin over here, that fell into the Klipos, into the lower worlds. And that was a concept over there, if I remember, it's a concept of the Klipa Noga. And that the Klipa Noga is a Kedusha part, and they're from the Kedusha part. They fell into the part that's not. That's where I remember it. Dechsev Bonim Mashchisim, you had children to destroy. Children that destroy, you know. But Indian, who the Indian is like this. Nephilim now, when these Nephilim, Haim Elu Shehishchiso as Darkum, that destroyed their paths, Ayat Allah Aretz, V'tol Achre Benos Aretz, and they got into complete Taibas of Gashmias and what the Polonis is able to do to people. Let's go on. Kosev B'Torah, it's written in the Torah's Bereishit Bara. We have these 2 words. Tables Elu, Rumazim L'Shtei Madregos Chachma B'das. Okay, so he didn't say Chachma Bina, he said Chachma B'das, Shehem Abba V'zer Anpen, he means the male side. And some of the male connections of the Yud Ke Vav Ke. So he said V'zer Anpen. Maybe Bereishis, in Mabar Bereishis, that word, a mimer, Bereishis mean mimer. Bara is what he calls the Chetzi mimer. So this is a metaphor for Eric Anpin and Zer Anpin, or Chochma and Zer Anpin. Ki Bereishis hu mimer of Shalom, shal shesh osios. Bereishis is a complete word. It has 6 letters in it. Veilu bara hu Chetzi mimer. It's only a Chetzi mimer. Ki yesh b'chaberak Chetzi osios only has 6 letters. Shall Tavis Bereishit. It's half of that number of letters. By Indian who is like what? So did I say 6 letters? It only has 3 letters. By Indian who av uben. So it's also the concept of father and a son. Ki Tavis Bara hu Abba, because Bara is really referring to Abba. Now he switched it around because I originally thought he was going to say Bereishis is Abba. But he says that Bara is Abba. He's the creator. But Tavis Bereishis hu Haben. That's the son. The Hainu Zer Anpen, who's the 6th. Sasim of Begalia. V'lechein Tavis Bara, whom Mimer Sasim. But the word bara is a closed up word. Shamar bara. Below beer ma bara. But it just says bara. Bereishit bara. So it doesn't say what. So that's partially hidden. Velo tavis bereishit hu mimer galui. So it's a mimer that you can see. So in other words, so this is a lower level. So 3 is smaller or more chashuv than 6. So it's a mimer galui. The shene'ever is galabo ma'abara, that it reveals what it was created, and there it is. That's zun. Ki hine tevus bereishis nechlach l'shnei tevus barashis. It created 6. So you can take Bereishit, so that's how you answer that question. What did he create? He created shit. Birusha barashesh kitzvos shazer anpin. That's what it created. So bara doesn't say what, but then you get the next word, it tells you. So it's bara and shit. So let's try to explain it. He says ki abba v'zer anpin heim shtei bechinus sasam v'galui. So there are these 2 ideas. The Abba Rabbechu Chachma Rabbeshuchu Besasim Kamoshaga Emar, the Chachma Ma'ayin Timsa, where you're going to find it. So he said, Rabbechain Lo Nizbar B'Tevus Bara Ma'Bara, so it doesn't explain what it created. The Eidach of Ezer Anpen Hu B'Bechinas Gilui, is revealed. Ki Hu Bechinas Oilim Galui Shel Sheish Kitzvos. V'Lechain Nizgala B'Tevus Bereishit B'Riyas Sheish Kitzvos. So you see in that word you have the 2 words Bara Bereishit. Umavara explains more. Aiden Eloah the Sasa Begonim. Serabaki Abba is also called the Aiden Eloah, Nikwa Aiden Eloah, Shuhu Chachme Eloah, for whose Sasa Begon is closed up, hidden away. Because his mochin don't go downwards. Whose mochin do go downwards? Aiden Tan Nafek Lemantanoi. So ve'elach moach hachachma shel zer anpin hanikra eden atachton yotze lemisav. It goes out and travels. Mispashet the mata bebechinish shloshim v'shtayim nesivas hachma, and that's the part. The Bereishit part is the part that goes into the 32 nesivas hachma and pours out of the brain. So he said like this. He says that the chachma is sasum and the rosh. I don't know sasum. But what comes out of it is going to be Bereishit. So that's the bara. V'izgali, and then it becomes revealed in Izgala Beguf Zer Anpin. And so we're really running out of time. And so you want to stop and we'll start it again? Okay, so we'll have to do that. We'll have to stop and start again tomorrow. Metz Hashem, we'll have more time. Yeah, good Chodesh. All the best.